Garden Care A to Z is brought to you by Effecto.
Welcome to Garden Care A to Z. My name is Andre Bimre. Today we're going to be solving a perennial problem for gardeners with shady areas, how to grow a lawn grass in the shade. We're going to be planting our lawn in the shady area from seed. We're going to be using Mayford Shadeover, which is a lawn grass particularly adapted to grow in the shade. The first step when planting seed, we need to prepare the area very well, which we've done most of the steps already. So firstly, this is quite a heavy soil. So we've worked in quite a lot of river sand to try and break up the clay content. Secondly, we've worked in Wonder bone meal. We've used 50 grams per square meter and dug that in really well. So we've created a nice fluffy seed bed, ready to receive the seed. The next step, let's plant the seed. 1 kilogram of Shadeover is enough to do 25 square meters, which is 5 meters by 5 meters. So the box itself becomes quite a handy sowing device. Open it over there, break down those perforations, and then that becomes the deflector plate. So very simply, get it onto the deflector plate and start scattering your seed across the area. Our seeding is all done. Our next step is to rake it just into the surface of the soil. So as you can see, there's still quite a lot of seed laying on the surface of the soil. And that really doesn't matter because this seed needs a little bit of light to germinate. So it's far more important not to cover it too deeply, and definitely don't cover with any topsoil. The next step, which is the most important step, is to roll it. Because we've created such a light, fluffy seed bed, the last thing we want is the seed's radicle, as it germinates, to emerge into an air pocket, because then it will just die. So we want the seed in good contact with the soil. And we can achieve that by giving it a good light rolling. Now, when we think about rolling, this is what most people have in mind. But actually, you don't have to go to this exercise. I've got a much easier way to show you. So what do you do if you don't have a good garden roller? Well, you could simply get the family together and get them in the area and do a rain dance. And make sure that you trample the area very solidly and you cover every inch of the seed bed. If the family don't want to get involved, very simply get yourself a piece of PVC pipe. A good sewer pipe will work, and you do it yourself. So we've used the roller, we've used the pipe, and we've done a rain dance. But the bottom line is we've got the seed in good contact with the soil. Our last two steps, we're going to fertilize and we're going to water. We're going to be using about 20 grams per square meter, which again, you don't have to be exceedingly accurate, but a nice handful broadcast across the area. Our very last step in planting our Shadeover from seed is we ensure that we have good watering. First rule, as soon as it starts puddling, stop watering. Second, very important rule, make sure that it gets water every single day for at least the first 8 weeks. That's very important. Now that's how easy it is to plant Shadeover from seed. Within 7 days, you should see germination. In fact, sometimes it can be a lot quicker. Within 6 to 8 weeks, you could start mowing. However, some of the maintenance aspects are very important. Your cutting height, for example, because it's such a shady area and grasses that grow in the shade need extra leaf blade. Because they grow quite upright in order to catch the available sunlight. They need that extra leaf blade to be able to photosynthesize and make food for itself. So cutting height is extremely important. I can't stress that enough. In fact, in a very deep shaded area like this, I probably won't mow it at all, but rather use a weed eater to keep the cutting height to somewhere around between 90 and 120 millimeters. As it gets more sunlight, you can reduce the cutting height, and the minimum though in a semi-shade area you're looking at around 40 millimeters. That is a very important aspect. Other than that, it needs far less maintenance than we think. It stays green throughout the year. Doesn't matter whether it snows, it will stay green. Now that was a lot of fun. Don't forget to watch us again on Garden Care A to Z.
Garden Care A to Z is brought to you by Effecto.